Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Laboom Like, and I'm trying to level up. One of the main reasons that I started this channel was to level up my sewing game and make it from that ubiquitous sewing level of advanced beginner that I've been at for several years and just cross over the threshold to intermediate sewist. I think that so many of us are advanced beginners and continue calling ourselves advanced beginners or adventurous beginners or bold beginners up until we could basically make a tailored full suit by hand, at which point all of a sudden you're advanced. There's this weird space in the middle that is confusing. I don't know what an intermediate sewist is. I don't know how to cross over from advanced beginner to intermediate, but I want to make it there. I've created this series, Leveling Up, to document my journey from advanced beginner to intermediate sewist, and who knows, maybe beyond that. I've decided to do it in kind of a fun way. I like playing games and I like getting prizes. So I'm going to be pursuing and awarding myself some sewing badges as we go along. And I'm going to introduce you guys to those badges as well. Maybe you can go along with me and help me make a few new ones. Right now, I think I have 8 badges, 7 or 8 badges to share with you. And here goes. Let me scooch over so I can pop some of these badges up over here. The first badge is the hand sewing badge. I think that I have certain hand sewing skills, but I avoid it as much as possible. If I can become a confident hand sewer, I think that'll help me get up a level. Starting with easy things like sewing on buttons, which I usually don't have any problem doing, and getting up to some harder things like those thread chain loops, which make your pieces just look that much more bespoke and that much more just finer pieces in the end. So I would love to perfect my hand sewing. Also, looking at closures. There are some closures that I have no problem with. I find invisible zippers much easier than regular zippers. But I want to build up my skills. I think the easiest kind of closure you can have and still technically be a closure are wrap ties, the kind of thing that you find on a wrap dress or a skirt or a piece like that, up to snaps and eyelets, which sometimes are an equipment situation, but I would love to master these closures. And the main one that's been giving me trouble since I started sewing again 4 or 5-ish years ago, the main thing that's been tough for me are buttonholes. And I think it's tough for a lot of us, even with these automatic buttonholes and these automatic machines. So I want to lose my fear of buttonholes and be able to conquer that closure badge. We've also got pattern drafting. If you've watched some of my other videos, I've talked on here about how I can follow a pattern just fine. But if you ask me to create a pattern, that's when something can really go wrong. Something as simple as a circle skirt could just end up turning into a washcloth or a nice skirt panel that you put on another piece. I would love to master pattern drafting. That can be rubbing off, which is the term for when you copy or clone other clothing. One of the hardest things in my mind would be going from a concept wholly of your imagination that you draw, design, measure out, and then create in real life. I would love to be able to do something like that. Another fundamental sewing badge for me will be pockets. I, like many people, love a piece with pockets, and I would like to get really good at creating pockets, adding pockets to pieces that don't already have them, adjusting pockets, and being confident enough to tackle something as difficult as a welt pocket with an interior button and some random gusset. I don't know. I want to be a pocket master. So that's where the pocket badge comes in. After that, I'm also looking at the tailoring badge. That is different than the pattern drafting. Tailoring is talking about fitting, talking about making pieces so that they look bespoke to you, are fit perfectly to you, can be altered just for you. I have taken in hems, I've taken in the sides of items, I've let things loose, but I would love, one of the things that I haven't tackled is a full bust adjustment. I have done a little bit of pants alterations and I'm not great at everything yet, but if I could get that bust adjustment just right and understand how to do it in various different pattern types, I think I would be really, really happy with where my sewing is going. After that, we have the Equipment Master badge. I don't know about you, but I am sometimes a little bit of a careless sewist. I don't take care of my machines the way that you're supposed to. I do basic things. I do what my mother taught me, which is I try to keep my machine covered when I'm not using it, kind of. I generally change out my needles every once in a while. I've gotten a little bit lax with that, but I don't oil the machine like you're supposed to. I don't dust it down unless it looks really gnarly in there. I don't know all the best ways to take care of my tools. So I want to get a little bit better at that. I'm lucky that I've had some really good quality machines. When you inherit sewing machines or you get some of these older models used, you do get some items that are a little bit more foolproof in terms of maintenance, or a little bit more hard wearing. Some of these newer machines feel like toys and break down here and there in a year, 2 years. I have a machine that's almost as old as I am, and that's the one I take the least care of, except that I cover it when I'm supposed to. And I'm just really lucky that it's a well-built machine. But I would like to become a responsible sewist. I want to take better care of my tools. I want to manage my scissors and my needles better and just be more organized. Okay, the final badge that I have for now is the Fabric Queen badge. I am a fabric queen, but mostly because I just love being in the fabric store. I love touching the fabric. I love getting the fabric, looking at the fabric, pairing fabric to patterns, and then never making them, putting them back on the shelves. I enjoy fabric. I have a sewing hobby, I have a pattern hobby, and I have a fabric hobby. But I want to build my skills a little bit better with fabric. I have some very, very basic fabric detective skills, the skills that you need when you're walking into a fabric shop. Usually some of the best ones with the best selection have nothing labeled. No prices, no care instructions, no information about the fabric or garments made with them. But those will be the stores where you get some of the best deals and some of the greatest finds. And I would love to be a better fabric detective who could put something between my fingers and understand what that fabric is. I would love to be better at understanding the grain line of a fabric. I have a rudimentary knowledge of it, and I can tell you what the bias is supposed to be, but am I always gonna hit the bias correctly? Who knows? I'll wear the garment, but maybe I didn't get that right on the 45 degrees, you know? So the Fabric Queen badge is gonna be something that helps me get my knowledge up of one of the essential parts of garment sewing, at least, which is working with the proper fabric. Okay, so those are all the badges that I currently have for this journey. I'm gonna get way more probably in the end. I would love your input. Which badges do you think I need to add to this group? Which items or skills do you think fall under some of these badges? What have I missed? What would you add? And what are you excited to see? I'm gonna share this with you guys, probably sporadically in the beginning. And as I get moving, I'll get a little bit more consistent for y'all. But I would love you to share your journey with me too. Maybe we can go from advanced beginner to intermediate together. For real, let's level up together. Okay? Okay, so thank you for making it to this point in the video. I hope that you take a peek around, see what I've got going on. Like, subscribe, comment, share with some friends, share with some strangers, do whatever. Just be a part of this community. Go on this journey with me. Enjoy these videos. Thank y'all. Peace.